All right, Misfits, before we get into making this beef and broccoli, I would like to reiterate that this is a beef and broccoli, not a beef and broccoli stir fry. What's the difference? Well, when you use a wok and you continuously move that food on 10,000 plus BTUs, which in essence is really hot, the average apartment may have anywhere from 500 to 2,000 BTUs if you're lucky. So with that being said, you can use something like this without knocking yourself out of a carbon steel pan, which I believe is the same material from a wok, but it's still just not going to get as hot as a wok would, because here we have electric coils. I also have the induction, but I want to use the electric coils again because not a lot of people are going to have the induction burners. Trying to keep this as authentic as possible for small apartment cooking. What I am going to be using, which is not, again, everybody is going to have, but more people will than a wok, is just going to be an average saute pan. This is actually going to be a ceramic pan from Caraway. It is the pans that I use. And for those of you that say you don't like them because they're hard to maintain, I've had this for about a year and 9 months now, and I just take care of it. And if you don't know how to take care of it, it comes with instructions. You should check that out. Let's get into making this beef and broccoli.
Let's go ahead and start with the beef. I know the recipe called for flank steak, but I actually decided to go with sirloin merely out of preference. First things first, you're going to want to slice that sirloin nice and thin so it cooks evenly and quickly. For the marinade, we're going to add our soy sauce and sesame oil, as well as some cornstarch. The cornstarch is going to act as a protective barrier and tenderizing buffer. Think of it as a mini shield that keeps your beef juicy and soft during the cooking process. It's also going to contribute to the brown bits at the bottom of the pan because we're sauteing this and brown bits equal flavor. Let's set that beef to the side so it can marinate and start on our beef and broccoli sauce. This sauce will consist of soy sauce, oyster sauce, Shaoxing wine or dry sherry. If you don't have either of those, you could do what I did and just use a little bit of sake. Then you'll add your brown sugar, which I actually substituted with honey, and then half a cup of beef broth. I actually use better than bouillon because it does have a bit more flavor, but feel free to use whatever makes you happy. I went on ahead and mixed my cornstarch slurry, which is basically going to be cornstarch and a little bit of water, and this is going to help in the thickening process of that sauce later on. Now for the broccoli, you will find that when it comes to recipes, I am not afraid of making changes. For instance, this particular recipe said to blanch your broccoli, but I actually prefer to throw it into the air fryer and to give it some color. Because in cooking, color equals flavor. Besides, would you rather eat blanched or would you rather eat caramelized? I mean, seriously. Normally this is where I would tell you to put your broccoli to the side, but it looks like I'm running out of space.
Now, just like we went on ahead and roasted the broccoli versus the blanch, I also went on ahead and did this with soba noodles instead of rice. It's okay to change the recipe to whatever your preference is. The main thing is going to be this beef and broccoli. Now, you can go ahead and season the soba noodles with a little bit of soy sauce and sesame oil, but really at the end of the day, you're going to have so much sauce that comes with that beef and broccoli, and you can actually toss the soba noodles with the beef and broccoli, which is kind of the way I prefer it. But let's get to cooking the beef and broccoli.
Because I am in a small space, I do want to go with a lower heat, like medium, and I'm going to let that preheat for about 10 minutes till it's nice and hot. Then I'll add a high smoke point oil, which will help give us a better sear. This is where the cornstarch comes into play. Once it hits that pan, it is going to help reduce that splatter of sizzle because it's going to be less moisture on the outside of the steak. And when moisture hits oil, it splatters everywhere. The cornstarch will also help contribute to the browning on the bottom of the pan and that nice GBD finish. Then we'll get the beef transferred to a bowl and then get in our garlic and ginger. I'll give that a quick saute before adding in the sauce. For whatever reason, if you are not the type of person that likes to make their homemade from scratch super simple sauces, feel free to purchase whatever sauce you do like, and this is where you would add your sauce, heat it up before adding your beef and broccoli, giving it a stir, and then finishing. But what's really all the fun in that? Now, if you are one of the cool kids and decided to make your own sauce, this is where we make it thicker, simply by adding this cornstarch slurry, and if you want it even thicker, you can add 2, even 3 times this amount. And then stir and simmer until the sauce thickens. This is where we get to bring it all together. You're going to add your beef, and then you're going to add your broccoli. Go ahead and give it a toss to get everything coated. Totally optional, but feel free to grab that bowl that had your steak in it with all the residual juices and add your soba noodles. Then add your beef and broccoli into the soba noodles, where you can add some sesame seeds, and if you want to be even just a little bit more extra, go ahead and add in some crunchy dry roasted garlic. Then we're going to go ahead and give everything a good toss before plating. If I'm being honest, if it wasn't for the camera, I would normally split this beef and broccoli into the 2 plastic bowls I cooked it in, get a couple of forks, and my brother and I would have at it like savages. But because I'm doing this for you and I want you to have this illusion that I have some sort of sophistication, a plate it is. I'll even go as far as wiping the rim of the plate because deep down, I am bougie. And there you have it, beef and broccoli without the stir fry.
All right, Misfits. Beef and broccoli. It's pretty damn good. I can see why my brother asked me to make it twice this week. This concludes my very first recipe video in my brother's tiny kitchen. What did you think? Be honest, be gentle, but be honest. What did you like? What did you think could be improved? I literally created a laundry list, and I promise I'm going to be my hardest critic. Little things. Like I want to bring the cooking from over here to front and center on the kitchen island. I'm going to get one of those mobile outdoor burners and just do all the cooking here, so I have all of this light and you guys can see the food. Also, the angle I was shooting at, wasn't a big fan of it. I didn't like it. Maybe if there was more light, but I actually have an arm that's coming that's going to be able to allow me to video from up top, because that's one of my favorite shots, is when the videos are up top. Now, I do have a couple of dinner parties booked, so I will be doing those videos as well at the new Commissary Kitchen. Commissary Kitchen videos are coming very soon. Those are going to be more of a day in the life of me going to the kitchen, then going to my client's house and doing the full dinner party. So those are the 2 videos that I'll be doing. A lot of recipe videos and a lot of dinner party videos. I'll probably throw in a vlog every so often, just if I'm feeling it. We'll see. We'll see. This channel is still a growth in progress. I am going to be focusing a lot more on taking these recipe videos and slapping them together and making like little shorts for those other people. You know who I'm talking about, the shorts people. Anyway, we love them. We love them. I'm reading my notes. Guys, that's all I've got for right now. If this is your first time here, please consider subscribing. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Hit that bell for notifications so when I do put out new videos, you can get those. Ooh, and don't forget to throw me a little bit of a hype. I don't know if you know what that is. It's a new thing you can throw at us. It helps boost our videos so that more people can see it. Guys, I love you. I appreciate it. I will leave the recipe down in the description to the beef and broccoli. And next, I think we're going to be doing salmon 3 ways. I'm looking forward to that because I like 3 ways of salmon.